Hey yo everybody, it is Voltage and we are back with another DAIMA review. This one's probably going up, what, 8, 9 over here on Friday. I know a lot of y'all like to check it out on Friday. I was a day late last week. This one's going up a little bit later than I intended, but it is going up. Don't you worry. So today we're going to get into talking about Lightning, which is the title of today's DAIMA episode. And I will not lie to you, it was quite fire. It was quite fire. I don't think this is going to be the longest to talk about, though, but let's see what we're going to get out of this one, because really there's like 2 major parts, and really there's like 1 if we want to talk about it. But let's go ahead and start the discussion. We know that the group landed after they overloaded the plane, they dumped some stuff, and we find out that Goku is wanted. Goku's obviously wanted because of saving Pansy and the rest of the villagers, which is nice. And he just happened to be pooing when they called him. A little quote-unquote contrived, but it's so minor that I'm willing to just like ignore it, because like they would have just beat him up. It is an excuse to kind of learn about Glorio a little bit. He does say he's from the first Demon World, even though he is originally from the third. We find out later. But that's actually a point to talk about, just Glorio specifically. Now, Glorio, we'll get to him, but he says that, which leads to some events later. So there's that whole thing. I don't think there's really much more. Other than I did find interesting that Pansy does have a collar. So we know that Pansy's a princess. I didn't see if the king himself had a collar. But we know Pansy's a princess, and we know that her father's the king. I don't think he had a collar, but I could be wrong. But it's interesting to me that Pansy does have one. Why does she have one? I don't really know. But I did find that to be a little interesting talking point that was like kind of just like not focused on too much. But anyway, Goku has a bounty. That's cool. You know, Saiyan hair, I think it was kind of funny to talk about Saiyan hair can't go down. Too resilient to even tie back. Interesting when you look at like certain movies and stuff where they have had his hair changed, but by Toriyama's statement, it can't be more. I mean, it does stay down with water, but I think what he means, like we've seen Goku even in Dragon Ball, his hair will be floppy in water, but I think what he means is that it wears off quick, so nothing is going to really keep it down, and like no hair tie is going to hold it back, so sure, right, you can't really change that. We do find out some more lore. I really want to focus on talking about that kind of thing. We do find out the Supreme Kai lore is changed, but not entirely. So the race of Supreme Kai, or Supreme Kai's race specifically, are born from trees. I guess Glins are the chosen race to become Supreme Kai, but they are born from trees still. Now, people were very curious whether this lore was going to continue to be a thing or not, and it has been revealed that they are. But interestingly enough, there's been some additions. There are 5 trees in Glin society, and you are considered siblings to one another if you're born of the same tree. Which means that while Degasu and Arnizu or Rinsu are siblings, they aren't like, it's like basically every, okay, let me find a way to word this. Every 5th of the population are siblings to one another. It's basically how it works in Supreme Kai society. Which to me also implies, although this isn't talked about in Super, that would mean that if the Demon Realm connects to every universe, which it seems to, it's not the Universe 7 Demon Realm, it seems to be the general Demon Realm, weirdly enough. But if that's how it works, then would that not mean of all the universes, some of those Supreme Kais are directly siblings? Never mentioned because it's an addition later, but you get it. So that's a thing. There's no golden fruit, though, from what it seems like, unless Supreme Kai adds later he was born from a golden fruit. There's no anything like that. And in fact, there's not even fruit at all. The baby themselves is like the fruit from the tree, and they pick the baby. Because that's not weird as hell. The little bit of a picture shows their society looking kind of interesting. A little bit reminiscent of Namek's. Especially the ship. There's a ship in one of the shots that looks just like the Namekian ship, weirdly enough, but interesting to think about how their lore is similar but changed. What's also interesting is that I want them to confirm all Glins are Kais, but not all Kais are Glins. And then if you, it's also confirmed that some people are Supreme Kai race, but some people are just demons. Kais are demons, but not all of them are Kais, if that makes sense. So interesting stuff with him, Now I know what y'all want to get to, but we're going to get to the big stuff in a minute. Okay. Well, you can talk about the fact that him and Degasu are brothers, except there's an age gap of 216, which, remember, may sound like a lot, and at first I was interpreting that as a pretty big gap to call yourself a brother, But that's not really that true. Supreme Kai is theorized to be like millions of years old, given the timeline of dealing with Kid Buu. So if you consider that to be part of the case, it would make sense that someone only 200 years apart from you is considered your direct sibling. It could be within the same 1,000 years, could be within the same 300, 250, but there's a range where you're direct siblings. So that makes sense to me. So we do find that out, and we do find that Degasu is just very ambitious and didn't fit in, but we don't really talk more about it than that. But okay, sure. And we do find that Arinzu are siblings, and let's talk about this. Arinzu, they talk about the fact that they are directly siblings, but not how much older she is. She is older than Supreme Kai, but not how much. There's no direct number given, just like Supreme Kai, interestingly enough, or just like Degasu. Just older sister. So that's interesting, but they do talk about how he calls them brother and sister, right? He specifically refers to them as brother and sister, before then saying that Glins, the Supreme Kai race, don't have genders, so we aren't exactly men or women. So if I can ask this, and this might be a little early for the YouTube algorithm for me to ask this question, but I'm going to ask anyway, why does she have tits? Like, let's talk about that. Like, just the way it is. Why is she, in the sense I say that, why does she have clearly defining feminine features for a race that doesn't have gender? I'm not going to go into biology and all that nonsense, but she would have no need for feminine features in their society. They are an asexual reproducing society. They don't, as far as we know, I guess they could have certain Glins that have to be nursed as babies, if that's a thing. I guess we don't know for sure, but it didn't seem to be the case, because they're, like, Goku even compares them to plants. And they also only drink water, which means that they wouldn't need extra sustenance other than water as they grow older. So why do they have masculine and feminine traits? You could argue that Supreme Kai is the best example of being kind of a neutral, although he seems to be dominantly a guy. It's also their voices. They sound more like a particular gender. They don't have like a general sounding voice across them all. Kibito sounds like an old man. Supreme Kai sounds like a dude. Degasu sounds like a dude. Arinzu sounds like a woman. So why not, like, Namekians? Okay, my best example of this is Namekians. Namekians all predominantly seem like guys, but they all don't have a gender officially. So you can understand that they are genderless, and they don't have features that imply they are masculine or feminine. That works for Namekians. Why change that with Glins? It's possible this could be kind of like a Shadow Dragon thing, if you know Oceana Shenron, where Arinzu makes herself look like a woman and gives herself womanly features, both because she views herself as a woman, and because of maybe that helps her purposes. Maybe it helps persuasion and the like in the royal court, which she seems to be kind of connected to. But for whatever the case, I think it's either if she has a design reason why, I rock with that. If she doesn't, I don't rock with that, because it seems like a stupid design choice to then drop that lore after the fact. It's very minor, but it's just something that like bothered me, because Dragon Ball's gotten this right before with Namekians. Why would we then do the same thing and do it weirder with the Glint? I don't know. But anyway, that little point aside, she's ambitious, and she chose the excitement of the Demon Realm over staying with the Kais. To be fair, though, Arinzu does look a lot different than the others do, so I really do wonder if her actual appearance is different than what she projects, like if this is magic, like illusions or something like that. Who knows? And then we hear about Glorio. Now, here's the big stuff from here on out. Here's where the video gets serious, gets real. If you are still watching, let's get into the juice, the meat, potatoes, all that good stuff, which is the Glorio situation. So Glorio has his reasons that are obvious, and he thinks that Goma is an evil person who makes all Majins suffer, so obviously he wants to beat him, right? Okay, sure. He mentioned he was hired by someone in the first Demon World. They go to sleep, whatever. Side note on Glorio, I haven't mentioned him. Goku, when he gets Glorio's name wrong again, Glorio says, "You're doing that on purpose." And Goku's like, "I swear I'm not," and says it right. And then later in the same episode, he still gets it wrong again. I don't know why he can't say Glorio, but it is kind of funny given that he's 6. And that's why some people are probably going to be bothered by Goku's behavior in these episodes being too childish. Unlike Super Goku, unlike GT Goku, and even unlike Dragon Ball Goku, this Goku is 6. He is a first grader. He is 6 years old. Okay? He is younger than Goten and Trunks. Let that sink in. Okay? He's not the same as GT Goku, who was back to a 14-year-old, so he's pretty much just smaller with his same mind. It makes more sense for Goku to have some childish impulses being 6 years old again by the Dragon Balls. So So don't hate on that. This is the most sensibly childish Goku's ever been, and he should be more childish than his Dragon Ball counterpart, which he is, but not in what I think is an obnoxious way. Okay, so just have my opinion on that out there, because I feel like that's a talking point. Glorio. Glorio is working for Dr. Arinsu. Yes, so there were some theories about this before, but it is confirmed that he is working under Arinsu directly and also working against Goma. So she set up Goma to make them children, then had Glorio go get them as children and bring them. Why? What is she doing? She's clearly a mastermind back here. What is her true plan in bringing all these parts together? My guess is she wants the Dragon Balls. Goku, even as a kid, should be strong enough to beat the Tamagami, which will allow them to get the Dragon Balls and Arinsu can get a wish. That seems to be the basic idea, but who knows? Toriyama might have some surprises for us. But it was nice to get that reveal, and Supreme Kai did overhear this, so he knows either Glorio's especially sus, or that happened. Then we get the reveal, Minotaur in the Dragon Ball verse is always cool, except he's garbage. And then we get the big meat and potatoes, Goku versus Glorio. They just choose to ignore the Minotaur because they want to settle who is stronger between them. Glorio thinks Goku is heavily underestimating him, and Goku thinks he could wipe Glorio if he really wanted to. Like, it would be a no diff. So, I've been theorizing the last few episodes, if you guys have seen it, how strong Glorio is. And let's just say Goku's right. Glorio is sick, though. He is solidified as my favorite character in this series because of his power, his magic, hence why the episode's called what it is. But Goku believes he could beat Glorio with only one hand in base. He could win that, which is crazy to me, right? But then Supreme Kai says, I want to see how strong Glorio actually is, get serious. And Goku says, okay, and start doing some serious work in base. Glorio is revealed to have lightning as his magic, and it's so cool looking. It's so sick. I mean, I'm Voltage. Y'all know I love lightning in anything. So the second I saw him pull out lightning as his magic, you know my opinion of him jumped up, okay? So, top tier, love it. It was a sick fight, but Goku is dogging him. Like, this is never about, is Goku gonna lose? No. And Goku is doing crazy stuff in base. Crazy stuff in base. And then he pulls out Super Saiyan, and the best Super Saiyan transformation we have yet. It is so gorgeous. Interestingly enough, I guess they've only seen it in flashes, so while they kind of give dramatic effect for the audience, for the others, it's only been for a small burst. But, despite that, I still think it is very sick, very sick, very sick, that he pulls that out. But Super Saiyan dogs Glorio. So what Glorio seems to go for is his all-out ultimate attack, is what I'm seeing. He goes for that, and Goku just stares it down and one-taps it. No damage. Speed blitzes Glorio to where Glorio is trembling in his boots, knows he's about to get dogged and outsped. He is garbage. Now, I still don't know how strong Goku is, because Glorio said, no one has ever said that Goku actually got weaker by being shrunk. Think about that. No one has ever talked about how much weaker they are while shrunk. They have only said they've been made kids. Are they even weaker? I still don't know confirmation. The common sense answer is yes, but really I have my concerns. So I don't know. But if we assume, let's assume for the sake of discussion that Goku is not weaker than he used to be, that he has the same strength he used to be before. If we assume that's the case, Glorio is like Yakon level. Like, he's weaker than Glorio himself. I mean, it's clear to me that Glorio should be weaker than Deborah. I feel like that's not ridiculous to say. So he's weaker than Super Perfect Cell, weaker than Deborah, weaker than a lot of the Blue Arc people. I mean, it also makes sense he's weaker than Supreme Kai. I mean, Supreme Kai should have been a dominant force in the universe, but Glorio is like, he's weaker to just Super Saiyan Goku, like base Goku, or base Vegeta crapped on Pui Pui, who, it's tough, it's tough. If I were to have all things considered, though, this puts Glorio at, like, somewhere in the Android Saga level. I'm not even sure he's taken on the Goku who fought Cell, which he probably isn't. So he's, like, at the highest of high balls, Super Vegeta level? Maybe weaker? Probably? Like, he's not all that. So that's unfortunate. But he, again, though, while he was clearly scared, clearly outmatched, I still do have my concerns on whether Glorio is actually using his full power or not. I don't know. He could always have a trick up his sleeve, a transformation or something that he could be saving to kind of make them let their guard down about his real strength, right? So I'm not going to write Glorio out yet, but in this fight, it's clear he is basically fodder. Like, Goku dogs everything he's seen so far. We'll see. And then finally, the ending of this, we have the reveal of Vegeta on his way with Piccolo and Kibito. Bulma was not coming, which made it obvious to me that this wasn't going to work because she is shown in the outro with them the entire time. So they start taking off in the ship, and boom, it doesn't work. That sucks. But we do know the big furball who looks like a bear thing. He's coming to get them. So it seems likely to me they're going to make it no matter what very soon. But they kind of gave us a tease, and then it didn't work. And so it's like, you know, will they, won't they? Soon enough, we will have some more. But thoughts as a whole for the episode? It was very fun. Goku vs. Glorio looked amazing. This one's like probably the longest episode yet because there was a lot to talk about. But the lore was great. Goku vs. Glorio was great. And I really did enjoy it. Another fire episode, all things considered. This series has so much potential, and we're going places, man. We're going places. We're only on episode 6. There are 20 total. Get ready, because there's more fun coming. But anyway, that's my review so far. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. Comment your thoughts down below. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more. We're aiming for 400 subscribers as our next big goal, and would love to hit that. So please come subscribe if you enjoyed. And check out the Discord. The Discord's in the description down below. Come join that. Check that out. I'd love more of you to come join the Voltage Crew Discord. I'm in there, of course. Multiple of you guys who watch are there, so I'd love to meet y'all, talk to y'all, all that fun stuff. But that being said, have a great rest of your nights, days, evenings, mornings, whatever time it is you're watching this. And thank you so much for watching. Voltage out.